My father's voice was steady on the phone. Tessa, I gave everything to your brother. You're out. The words hit like a knife, sharp and cold. I gripped my phone, my office fading as betrayal sank in. Mitchell Enterprises, the company I'd built with him for 20 years, was no longer mine. I swallowed hard, staring at the Austin skyline, now blurry. I'd thought I was his partner, his heir. I was wrong. I was 19 when I joined the company, turning Dad's dream into reality. I worked nights, saved us from collapse, built our wealth. Liam, my younger brother, did nothing. He partied, spent trust fund cash, ignored the business. Yet Dad chose him. Thanks for letting me know, I said, voice flat. He paused, expecting tears or screams. I gave him silence. Tessa, I know it seems unfair, I hung up. The office felt heavy, like the air was gone. I'd sacrificed everything, friends, relationships, time, for this company. I was its backbone, not Liam. He'd never stepped foot in a boardroom, never earned a dime. But Dad picked him, the golden son. My hand shook, but not from sadness. Anger burned inside, steady and fierce. He thought I'd break. He was wrong. I'd seen signs, meetings I wasn't invited to, reports missing from my desk. I'd trusted Dad, ignored the whispers. Now it was clear, they'd planned this. Liam, who cared only for clubs and cars, was their choice. But I wasn't done. I knew this company, every deal, every secret. They'd taken my title, but not my power. I stood, smoothing my blazer. This wasn't over. Mitchell Enterprises was my life, my blood. I'd built it, not Liam. Dad thought he'd won, handing it to his son. But I wasn't grieving. I was planning. They'd underestimated me, and that was their mistake. I'd show them what I could do. This wasn't the end, it was the start of my fight. I was 19 when I joined Mitchell Enterprises, fresh out of college, ready to make Dad's dream real. We started small, just a few contracts, but I made it grow. I built investment plans, won big clients, pulled us back from bankruptcy twice. Late nights, no weekends, I gave everything. Dad had ideas, but I made them work. By my 30s, we were a powerhouse. I thought he saw me as his equal, his legacy. I was wrong. Liam, my brother, was never there. While I worked, he partied, blowing trust fund money on clubs, trips, cars. He didn't care about the company, didn't know a balance sheet from a bar tab. Dad called him creative, excusing every failure. I didn't mind at first, I was too busy saving us. But last year, things changed. Dad stopped sharing financial reports. I was left out of big meetings. He and his lawyers whispered behind closed doors. Liam, suddenly interested, started showing up, clueless but smug. I should have noticed. The quiet talks, the locked files, Liam's fake enthusiasm, they were signs. I was too busy running the company, trusting Dad's stories about family loyalty. He'd raised me on tales of hard work, saying I'd earn my place. I believed him. Now, at 34, I saw the truth. He'd always wanted Liam, the son, to take over, no matter how unfit. My trust was gone, replaced by anger. They thought they'd pushed me out, but I knew too much. Every deal, every secret, I'd tracked it all. Liam didn't understand the business, Dad didn't see its cracks. I did. They'd betrayed me, but I wasn't helpless. I'd spent years building this empire, learning its strengths, its weaknesses. They'd handed it to the wrong person. I sat at my desk, staring at my black notebook, filled with records they didn't know I kept. Hidden deals, liabilities, risks, it was my insurance. Dad taught me power comes from knowing more than your enemy. Now, he and Liam were my enemies. I wasn't just angry, I was ready. They'd taken my company, but I'd take it back, piece by piece, using everything I'd learned. I left the office early, my black notebook in hand. Its pages held secrets, deals Dad hid, accounts Liam didn't know existed, risks I'd covered up. I'd kept it separate, a habit from years of watching Dad's risky moves. Now, it was my weapon. Driving home, I gripped the wheel, knuckles white. Austin streets blurred, the city I'd helped build feeling cold. Dad thought I'd fade away. He didn't know me at all. In my empty house, I tossed my keys and went to my study. Books on strategy lined the walls, useless now. I opened the notebook, scanning notes, a shady loan, a client Dad overpromised to, liabilities buried deep. I knew the company's weak spots, and I'd use them. Dad always said loyalty was everything, but he'd betrayed me. He taught me power isn't given, it's taken. I'd take it back. I grabbed my phone and called Ethan Carter, Dad's old friend. He'd helped start Mitchell Enterprises, always believed in me more than Dad did. "Tessa," he answered, warm but careful. "It's been a while." I got to the point. "I need to meet." "It's about Dad." He sighed. "I figured." "The club, 1 hour." I hung up, adrenaline surging. Ethan was my first step, the key to my plan. Dad's lessons echoed: control the boardroom, know your enemy, strike when they're weak. He'd raised me to be ruthless, then chose Liam, who knew nothing. His mistake. I wasn't just fighting for revenge, I wanted to prove I was better. My plan formed: start a new firm, lean and smart, to outshine Mitchell Enterprises. I'd take their people, their clients, their power. I grabbed my keys, notebook in my bag. The drive to the club was quiet, but my mind raced. Dad and Liam thought they'd won, handing me defeat. They didn't see the fire inside me. I wasn't grieving, I was building. They'd learn what happens when you underestimate someone who knows every move you make. This was my game now, and I'd play to win. I walked into the private club, its dim lights and old money vibe unchanged. Ethan Carter sat in the back, whiskey in hand, his sharp eyes watching me. He'd helped Dad start Mitchell Enterprises, but always saw my worth. I sat across from him, calm but burning inside. "Tell me what happened," he said, swirling his glass. I didn't hold back. "Dad gave the company to Liam. I'm out." After 20 years, he chose my brother, who's never worked a day. Ethan's face stayed neutral, but his eyes flickered. I leaned forward. "Liam's clueless. Dad's blind. The company's overextended, big acquisitions, no infrastructure. I built that infrastructure. I know where it breaks." I outlined my plan: let Mitchell Enterprises crumble under Liam's mistakes, then build a better firm, taking their talent and clients. Ethan smirked. "Your father would call this betrayal." I laughed, dry. "He betrayed me first." He sipped his drink, thinking. "What do you need?" I met his gaze. "Funding. Investors. A chance to start fresh. I'll poach their best people, the ones Liam doesn't value. I'll make something stronger." Ethan chuckled. "You're ruthless, Tessa. Like your father." I shook my head. "No, better. Dad taught me to play hard, but he forgot I learned his tricks. Now, I'd use them against him." Ethan leaned back, studying me. "You've got names already, don't you?" I slid my phone over, showing a list of top executives and analysts, people I'd trained, who trusted me. "They'll follow me," I said. "Liam's a joke to them." Ethan whistled. "You don't wait." I shrugged. "No time to." He nodded, slow. "I'm in. I'll get you investors." 3 words, and my plan was alive. Driving home, excitement buzzed in my veins. Dad thought he'd broken me, giving Liam his empire. He didn't know I was building my own. Ethan's backing meant money, connections, power. I'd learned ruthlessness from Dad, but I'd honed it sharper. Mitchell Enterprises was shaky, and I'd push it over. My new firm would rise, and they'd see what they lost. This wasn't just revenge, it was my future, and I was ready to take it. I started with Danielle Carter, our head of risk management, my mentor for years. I called her the day after meeting Ethan. Tessa, she answered, angry. I heard. It's wrong. I cut to the chase. I'm starting a new firm. I want you with me. Silence, then, tell me where to sign. By week's end, I had 4 key people, executives, analysts, people I'd trained. By month's end, 10. They trusted me, not Liam. Each one was a blow to Mitchell Enterprises. Ethan delivered. Investors, eager to back a rival, gave me millions. I leased a sleek office in Austin, modern and sharp, nothing like Dad's old-school setup. My team worked fast, planning acquisitions, targeting Mitchell Enterprises' weak spots. Meanwhile, Liam was floundering. Word spread, missed deadlines, unhappy clients, staff quitting. He took big risks, deals I'd warned against, and failed. Dad was too proud to see it, but the cracks were growing. I sat in my new office, incorporation papers in hand. My firm, Carter Ventures, was real. Named for Ethan's faith in me, it was lean, strategic, built to outsmart, not outspend. I'd poached the best, and more were calling, tired of Liam's chaos. Dad and Liam didn't notice. They thought I'd vanished, licking wounds. They didn't know I was stealing their foundation, brick by brick. Every hire, every deal, made me stronger. My team respected me, not my name. Danielle led risk, others handled contracts, all loyal because I valued them. Mitchell Enterprises was bleeding, and I was thriving. I felt power, not just revenge. Dad taught me to control the game, but he forgot I was better at it. Liam's mistakes were my openings, and I was ready to strike. Confidence grew with each step. My firm was small but fierce, built on trust, not ego. Mitchell Enterprises was a giant, but shaky, and I knew where to push. Dad and Liam underestimated me, thinking I'd fade. They were blind, and I was moving fast. The momentum was mine, and I wasn't slowing down. This was my time, my game, and I was winning. The first big hit came when Mitchell Enterprises botched the Harlan Tech deal. It was my project, a logistics firm to boost their supply chain. I'd set it up perfectly before Dad cut me out. Liam took over, and it collapsed. Headlines screamed, Mitchell Enterprises fumbles acquisition, CEO's son blamed. I'd advised Harlan's new buyer, a firm allied with me, to outbid Liam. He'd overpromised, miscalculated, and lost. I read every article, smiling quietly. Liam panicked. Danielle texted, he's losing it. Blamed sabotage in emergency meetings. The press tore him apart, questioning his leadership. Investors called Dad, nervous. Employees whispered, ready to jump ship. It was the first public crack in their empire, and I'd helped make it. My firm was small, but growing, and I was already outsmarting them. They didn't see me coming. 2 days later, Dad called. I let it ring, then answered. Tessa, he said, voice tight. You've seen the news? I leaned back, calm. I have. A pause. Did you have a hand in this? I laughed softly. You said I was out, Dad. Why would I care about your company? He sighed, heavy. We need to talk. I savored his tone, tense, unsure. The man who'd betrayed me was shaken. I kept my voice smooth. I'm busy. Find another time. I hung up before he could argue. For once, I held the power. They were desperate, and I was in control. Liam's failure wasn't just a mistake, it was proof they'd chosen wrong. I wasn't just watching their fall, I was pushing it, quietly, from the shadows. Every misstep was my gain. Savoring their struggle felt good, not cruel. They'd taken my life's work, thinking I'd crumble. Now, Liam was drowning, Dad was doubting, and I was rising. My firm was signing new clients, people Mitchell Enterprises ignored. I wasn't done. This was just the start. I'd let them dig deeper, then strike harder. They'd learn what happens when you cross someone who knows your every move. Mitchell Enterprises was falling apart. Employees left in droves, managers, analysts, people I'd hired. They joined my firm, tired of Liam's chaos. Clients followed, canceling contracts with Mitchell Enterprises, signing with me. My team was small but sharp, snapping up deals Liam fumbled. Carter Ventures was thriving, our office buzzing with new hires, new plans. Every loss for them was my win, and they didn't even notice. Liam was a mess. Danielle said he yelled at staff, blamed them for his mistakes. Investors pulled out, scared by headlines calling him incompetent. The company bled cash, big acquisitions, no profits. Dad's empire, built over decades, was crumbling in months. I didn't have to push hard, Liam's failures did it for me. My firm grew, taking their best contracts, their reputation. I was building something better, and it felt right. Dad called again, late at night. I answered, curious. Tessa, he said, voice low, desperate. We need to talk, in person. I tapped my desk, calm. Why? He sighed. Liam's struggling. The board's worried. We're losing money fast. We need you. I almost laughed. Me, the one he'd thrown out, was their only hope. You think I can fix this? I asked, cool. Please, he said. You're the smartest. Come back. I let the silence stretch, savoring his regret. Liam, the golden son, had failed. Dad saw it now, too late. I'm busy, I said, voice steady. You made your choice. Live with it. I hung up, heart racing but sure. They'd begged, and I'd walked away. My firm was my focus, new clients, new deals, a team that trusted me. Mitchell Enterprises was their problem, not mine. Liam's collapse was proof I'd been right. Dad's regret was my victory. They thought I'd save them, but I was done playing their game. Carter Ventures was my empire, built on my terms. I wasn't just surviving, I was winning. They'd feel every loss, and I'd keep taking until there was nothing left. My plan was working, and I was ready for the next step. I met Dad and Liam in his office, the air thick with tension. Liam sat by Dad's desk, pale, no smirk left. Dad looked tired, older. Tessa, he started, voice heavy. We need to restructure. We're losing too much. He slid a folder over. I opened it, bankruptcy papers. Mitchell Enterprises, my life's work, was broke. Liam's deals, Dad's pride, had destroyed it in a year. I closed the folder, meeting Dad's eyes. What do you want? I asked, calm. Dad hesitated, then whispered, come back. Fix this. Liam shifted, scared. I could have laughed, but I stayed cold. Fix your mess? I said. You gave it to Liam. Dad's face fell. Please, Tessa. You're the best. We need you. Liam finally spoke, voice shaky. We can't lose everything. I leaned back, savoring the shift. They were begging, and I held the power. I tapped the folder. How bad is it? Dad sighed. If we don't act, it's over. I nodded, slow. And if I don't help? He looked down. We lose it all. Liam's eyes widened. Tessa, you can't just, Dad cut him off. She can. I stood, smoothing my skirt. I'll think about it, I said, voice like ice. Liam's jaw dropped. Dad stayed silent, defeated. I turned and left, their hope fading behind me. Outside, I breathed deep, free. They'd thrown me out, and now they begged. The power was mine, and it felt good. Liam's fear, Dad's regret, they were my victory. I wasn't saving them. They'd chosen this, betting on the wrong person. My firm was growing, taking their clients, their people. Mitchell Enterprises was dying, and I was letting it. I'd won, and they knew it. Walking away, I felt light. They thought I'd crumble, but I'd outplayed them. Carter Ventures was my future, not their sinking ship. The meeting was their last chance, and I'd shut the door. They'd face the end alone, while I built something stronger. This was my triumph, and I was just getting started. A month later, Mitchell Enterprises filed for bankruptcy. Headlines roared, "Leadership Crisis Sinks Empire." I didn't just watch, I acted. My firm, Carter Ventures, was ready. In a sleek conference room, lawyers slid contracts across the table. "It's official," my lawyer said. "You own their best assets." I signed, calm but electric. I'd taken their clients, their top divisions, their talent. Mitchell Enterprises was a shell, and I held its heart. I didn't poach loudly, I didn't need to. People left Liam's chaos for my vision. Clients followed, trusting my name, not Dad's. My team, Danielle, others I'd trained, ran it all, loyal and sharp. I'd built something better, leaner, stronger. Dad and Liam thought they'd won, kicking me out. They played checkers, I played chess. Now, I had everything, and they had nothing. Dad came to my office weeks later. He looked old, broken, eyes scanning my new space, modern, thriving. "You did it," he said, voice low. I nodded. I did. He stood, silent, taking in my success. "You could have helped," he said. "We could have fixed it together." I leaned back. "No, Dad. You chose Liam. You said I wasn't needed. Now you see." I gestured to my office. "This is what I'm worth." His jaw tightened, but he didn't argue. He knew I was right. "I made a mistake," he said, soft. I didn't answer. The daughter who'd loved him wanted to care, but the woman he'd betrayed didn't. He nodded, defeated, and left. I didn't look back. I'd outsmarted them, turned their empire into mine. Carter Ventures was my legacy, built on my rules. Pride filled me, not just for winning, but for proving them wrong. They'd underestimated me, and I'd taken it all: clients, assets, power. Ruthless? Maybe. But I'd learned from Dad, then surpassed him. My firm was rising, their name fading. I wasn't just Tessa Mitchell anymore. I was the one who rebuilt, stronger, smarter, unstoppable. A year later, Carter Ventures is soaring. We've outgrown Mitchell Enterprises' peak, signing global clients, opening offices in New York, London. I mentor young women, sharing my story at conferences. Don't wait for approval, I tell them. Take your power. They nod, inspired, and I see my younger self in their eyes. My team, Danielle, my recruits, runs like a machine, loyal and fierce. This is my empire, built on trust, not betrayal. Dad and Liam are shadows now. Friends say Dad's retired, broke, living quietly. Liam's chasing failed startups, still blaming others. They're irrelevant, their name erased. I don't hate them, I don't need to. My life's too full: meetings, travel, a new home I love. I've started dating, cautiously, building a life beyond work. Mitchell Enterprises was my past, Carter Ventures is my future. Family isn't owed, it's earned. My team, my friends, they're my family now, celebrating my wins, not my sacrifices. I think of Dad's lessons, loyalty, grit, and realize I kept them, but for me. He thought I'd break, but I built stronger. Liam thought he'd shine, but he faded. I don't gloat, I'm too busy living. My journey, betrayal, fight, triumph, made me who I am. I help others now, teaching them to walk away from toxic ties. At a talk, a woman thanked me, tears in her eyes. "You showed me I can choose myself," she said. That's my legacy, not just money or power, but impact. I'm free, not from pain, but from their weight. My office overlooks Austin, my city, my home. I'm not just surviving, I'm thriving. Hope drives me. My firm's growing, my life's mine. I'm grateful, for my strength, my team, my freedom. A year ago, I was betrayed, cast out. Now, I'm Tessa, the woman who took everything and built more. To anyone stuck, don't wait. Fight. Build. You're enough. I'm proof, standing tall in my new empire, ready for whatever comes next.